This is the end, beautiful friend.
At the end of the last series, we waved a tearful goodbye
This is the end,
to the old Jaguar XJ12.
my only friend, the end. I'll never look into your eyes again.
Well, now it's time to say a cheerful hello to its replacement.
Hello, I love you, won't you tell me your name? Hello, I love you, let me jump in your game. Hello, I love you, won't you tell me your name? Hello, I love you, let me jump in your game.
Before we take a close look at the XJ12, I want to tell you a little story. Back in the 1980s, when Jaguar was designing this car, the XJ6, they were owned by British Leyland, whose bosses wanted them to use the Rover V8 engine. Now, Jaguar's engineers were horrified, and to scupper what they saw as this heresy, they deliberately designed the engine bay to be too narrow to accept a V-shaped engine. Now, of course, this meant that they also wouldn't be able to use their own V12 engine, but as they felt that such a thirsty monster would have no place in an increasingly green world, it didn't bother them unduly. In 1987, they launched this car with their own range of inline six-cylinder engines and sat back, pleased that their little scam had worked. The trouble was, it hadn't. You see, as the car hit the streets, BMW and then Mercedes launched the V12 saloons of their own. Jaguar's only response was to keep the old XJ12 going, but by the end of last year, it was getting too long in the tooth to stand up to this Teutonic onslaught. If Jaguar wanted to keep a toehold in the very upper echelons of cardom, they absolutely had to find a way of shoehorning their own V12 into that. And they have, because in an XJ6 body, there now beats a V12 heart. However, here's the question: is the new car as good as the old one? At tickover in the old XJ12, the engine was completely inaudible. But in this one, there's a rumble and, dare I say it, even a slight vibration. The reason is simple. While the basic architecture of the engine in this car is the same as the old one, it's a whole lot more powerful. It's been enlarged from 5.3 to 6 litres, so that it now pumps out a whopping 318 horsepower.
Riders on the storm.
0 to 60 now takes 6.8 seconds, top speed 155 miles an hour. The old XJ12 was all smoothness and serenity, but this one gives you a bit more stuff.
Like a dog without a bone, and actor riders on the storm.
To get the most out of this car, you need to put the new 4-speed gearbox into its sport mode, put your foot down, and hang on. The engine doesn't hum like it did in the old car. It roars and snarls and growls like it's angry.
Let your children play.
Okay, so it swallows a gallon of fuel every 15 miles or so, but remember, it's a V12. Ultimate status symbols never come cheap. I mean, you can keep a pet cat for what, 100 quid a year? A pet lion, though, that's a different story. And it not only goes and drinks like a big cat, it handles like one too. They've beefed up the steering, fitted square-shouldered, low-profile tyres and huge, fat alloy wheels. This isn't a limo, it's a sports car. It's thoroughly, thoroughly, thoroughly good fun to drive.
Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire.
On the motorway or off it, this is nothing like the old XJ12. I tell you, if you think BMWs are sporty, you should take one of these for a spin. However, while I don't mind that some of the old car's silence has been sacrificed in the quest for some punch, I'm saddened a little bit by the interior. It's not that it wants for toys. I mean, you can waft home listening to your CD player with the air conditioning and the cruise control on. It's just that though this leather and wood and cocoon is better than most big car interiors, I don't think it's as good as the old XJ12. It cosets less well, and some of the detailing, like the illuminated pencil tray, has gone. I like it, but I know that Jaguar can do better. Other drawbacks include smallish rear quarters, though a long wheelbase version is on the cards, and a deep-seated belief that Jaguars are not as well made as their German or Japanese competitors. That aside, there can be no doubt the product is right. It goes like a BMW. It soothes like a Rolls-Royce. If it really is as well built as a Mercedes, it will become the big car to beat. Especially when you bear the prices in mind. Now, a V12 Mercedes will cost you £88,600. This is just £46,000. And even if you go for the luxury-orientated Daimler 66 version, that's only £51,000. It really is the most glorious way of enjoying the V12 experience.